Good morning, everyone. My name is Maya Milhan, and I'm going to be your tour guide today. We're going to wait just a few more minutes for everyone else to join us this morning. We'll start right about 9:30. Just some housekeeping items while we're waiting for that. One, if you do have any questions or anything during the tour, please feel free to put those into the comment box. And one of our recruiters, Tara, will be watching that, so she'll be able to relay those over so that I can answer those for you. Two, we do recommend you use Wi-Fi just for the best connection. And if you do have any lagging or anything, just know that the stream will buffer and you can also watch it afterwards. It will save on our YouTube channel, so that is an opportunity for you as well. So welcome to our Southwest campus. I'm excited to show you our programs here today. This is our second largest campus, so we do have quite a bit to see. It'll be very filled of quite a variety of programs, and I'm excited to answer any questions and show you really how this works for students in just about another minute or so. So, a moment, we'll get started in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start telling you a bit more about our district and our campus that we're at today, and then we'll dive into the programs that are offered here. So first things first, really, what is West-MEC and how do we work? So we are what's called a career and technical education district, which means that we are one large school district in the West Valley that covers multiple other school districts. So our boundaries are about 3,600 square miles. It's made up of districts from around Paradise Valley over to Wickenburg, down to Tonopah area, around through Buckeye, Avondale, Tolleson, and then back up through Glendale and Peoria, and kind of that Western Valley area is all covered within our boundaries. So if you have questions about the district specifically that you live within, if you want to see if you are in our boundaries, feel free to let us know and we can answer that for you. There's 12 school districts, so there's a good chance that if you live in the West Valley, you are very likely going to be in our district, but we can that for you. All the programs that you're going to see here today and all the programs across our district are what's called CTE programs, which means education programs offer both classroom instruction and hands-on instruction, as well as some leadership development and work-based learning to really develop students and prepare them for some job opportunities after they're graduating. By having certifications in our programs that students can work towards that lead to those job opportunities. All of these programs here today do have those, and we can tell you a little bit more about that as we go. 28 programs total across our district. You're not going to see them all here today, so if you have questions about any of our others, you can always check out our website or let us know. This is our Southwest campus, which is in Buckeye. It's off of I-10 in Verrado. This is one of 4 campuses that West-MEC offers. Our other campuses are in Surprise off of Dysart and Grand, Glendale off of about Glen Harbor and Glendale Avenues, and then up in North Phoenix off of really Deer Valley and 19th Avenue. There's a likelihood that if you live in the West Valley, there's probably one campus that's hopefully pretty close to you, just in case you're interested in a West-MEC program. We do also have a few programs that are offered at community colleges, which are Gateway, Glendale, Stray Mountain community colleges. So with that, let's dive into a little bit more about our programs. This first program that we're going to see here today is our Energy and Industrial. This is a partnership I'm sure you can see, with both Estrella Mountain Community Colleges and Palo Verde. They've both been instrumental in this building and this program to really develop it to where it is today. This program is really a STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math. So it does offer quite a large variety of programs, kind of for pre-engineering, so trying to figure out kind of problem solving and how to build different systems. Although every student comes for different reasons. So some students want to go to Palo Verde, some want to go post-secondary for engineering, some are really interested in sustainability or for electrical components. Everybody's a little bit different, but we're going to see 2 labs here for this program. This program actually has 4. So just for the interest of time, we're not going to see everyone here today, but if you have questions about the other ones, we'd be more than happy to answer those for you. So come on back and we'll see this first. This whole building is actually dedicated to our Energy and Industrial Technology program, which is unique. Normally we have a couple of programs in our building, so this is a lot for this program. You'll see that we do have these collaborative spaces throughout our buildings, and that's for students to be able to utilize before and after programs or for breaks and things of that nature. Come on in. So this is our mechanical lab. This is where students can start to really understand these mechanical systems a little bit more. So something that you're going to see in this program are what we call trainers. So you'll see lots of different components within these. Students can use different concepts. For this mechanical lab, you'll see a lot of being able to build different systems and problem solve those. So try to figure out if it's operating correctly based off of the work specs that they're building it to, and understand this a little bit more. This lab is this trainer right here, which is actually for some natural resources. So this top piece is solar panels. We have a wind turbine over here. And this helps students to understand a little bit more about how energy is generated using these natural components. This is something that in Arizona is pretty big, as well as a lot of the Southwest, just because of our climate. So lots of things. We're not going to see today, we do have an electrical lab where students understand electrical circuits and how to build those properly to power different pieces of equipment, as well as an instrumentation and control lab, which uses a variety of pieces that they're going to learn from all the labs together to build a system that uses pumps and valves to move water from one location to another, and also uses computers to really automate that a little bit more to maintain that system. Let's go check out one of our other labs, which is our flow loop. Generating stations, it's not on a body of water, but it does need water to cool the reactors. So they use systems like this to be able to move water from down to Tonopah, as well as using the water throughout their facility. This does have a variety of different usages. So in this room, you're going to see a lot of piping to move the fluids around, but you'll also see valves and pumps and different machinery pieces and gauges. This whole system as a unit allows us to understand the systems have the right power to operate, the mechanical systems such as valves and things of that nature to make sure that that's operating correctly. And some pieces really taking these apart, problem solving and rebuilding this. So this structure does take on different appearances based off of different things that they're doing in the class. They do definitely take pieces apart and work on it and put it back together based off of what they're learning. Trainers for us to see. Are for really understanding how pumps work. In this flow loop setting, pumps are pretty critical to be able to move the water or the liquid from one location to another. So understanding how to build those, how to maintain, repair, troubleshoot that system is pretty important. And then we have a couple larger pieces of equipment. Orange frame is actually a rigging system. So this can lift 5 tons, and students learn how to operate this. So they learn the safety behind this. They start off with like a board safety, and then they work there. But they also learn how to work as a team correctly. This, if you are lifting 5 tons, as I'm sure you can imagine, it's critical that everybody is working together as a unit to really have a safe setting and be able to move this properly. So it's really that as if students were to work on rigging a little bit more. Then this large piece of equipment here is actually a diesel generator. So we don't run this, but we do understand all the different components. We understand how to take it apart and put things back together. And students really understand safety behind working on something like this, identifying all those different components. So if they were to need to work on a diesel engine like this somewhere, they would have that as a foundation as well. So that's Energy and Industrial Technology. It's a 2-year program. Like I said, students work at Palo Verde. I've worked at places like PepsiCo, a variety of different opportunities, as well as some post-secondary opportunities as well. Put those in the comment box and we'll get those answered. But for now, let's go look at some other pieces of the campus. So like I said here, this is the largest campus that we offer at West-MEC. There is going to be a little to another today, so bear with us and beautifully see our campus in its full glory. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to let us know. Do have some, so we have water catch this this morning, so if you hear a leak, cleaning up all the leaves. So welcome to our Veterinary Sciences building. Again, this is pretty unique because right now we just have the one program in here that we're going to see. So Veterinary Science program, this campus is really a little bit unique, and I'll show you that in just a little bit here. Students that come to this program are going to be learning veterinary assisting. So working with both really meet the needs of clients, both furry and human, to be able to do examinations, understand really vaccination schedules, and really maintain that professional demeanor. So come on back and I'll show you a couple of different components. So this first component here is really our surgery center. This is kind of the back office of which you don't see when you go to the vet's office, essentially. So many people, when you're going to the vet, you see the exam room. So you go in with your animal, you might see a vet tech or a vet assistant or a veterinarian come through, and then they kind of disappear behind a door to somewhere that you never really know what it looks like. This is what is oftentimes in that backside of the vet's office. So this is where students start to understand really the flow of how things work here. You'll see some kennels back there, some exam tables, lots of different equipment to be able to help us run different. And then this room, our actual surgery room. So we do have cats. So normally we'll have about 4 cats and 4 dogs throughout a semester come through. They stay here at this facility, and we work with a humane association for that, and it's part of the Humane Association's mission that all animals that are adopted are spayed and neutered. So when they get been spayed and neutered, they need to have that completed before they're adopted. This facility allows us to do that. So we do have a veterinarian on staff that will come in to do that, and the students will be able to set this room up. They'll be able to observe and also assist throughout that surgery. Since we do have dogs and cats on campus, we do need to be prepared for any sort of emergency or things like that. This also helps with that. It doesn't happen that often, but then we are prepared to do that kind of rise. A little bit more of the surgery center. And then you'll see a little bit more of really the kind of standard area that our vet assistants will work in an actual vet setting. So they do need to be able to put medical records into computers and document immunizations. They will run samples, they'll analyze things with microscopes, they'll be able to work with animals after surgery or in a kennel to be looked at later or observed. So this area is pretty popular for the students to be able to learn a variety of different techniques. Down the hallway we do have some exam rooms as well. We're not going to see those right now, but if you have questions about that later, I can definitely show you. Okay, so now one of the exciting things about this program. So like I said earlier, we do have dogs and cats on our campus, which means that we need facilities. So this area is for our feline still over kind of the winter break time frame. So they'll be back on campus in a few weeks, and then I'm likely to see animals in here. So right now it's just this. This area, our first area, so this allows the animals to be able to interact with potential adopters, to be able to really see if they're a good fit. It's also a great room for some exercise if it's kind of bad weather, whether it's really hot or really cold. You know, really know what you're getting, and there's a variety of different opportunities in here. is a grooming area. So our animals, since they're coming from a humane association, sometimes do have fur that needs to be treated. So whether that's matted and it needs to be shaved, or just good patients, but it is really helpful for adoptable standards for them to be able to have a good bath before getting adopted. Okay. We have two of these, so we have one on the other side as well. These are all indoor-outdoor kennels, so the dogs to be inside, really, or the weekend, just so that they're safe. You have people come in and maintain everything, and quite a bit of love-ins and a lot of walks and a lot of really great interactions with the students. Like I said, this is indoor-outdoor, so if we come out this way, see our runs. So we have the two sides. This allows us to separate dogs based off of demeanor or age or size, and just gives us a little bit more room to be able to create our needs. So as we walk this way, this is where we're going to see something that's actually unique for our Southwest campus, and that is our Veterinary Sciences program is offered at campus. So in Buckeye, if you're not familiar with the area, there's quite a bit of dairy and really equine usage in the West. Be able to kind of dive into that large stock veterinary industry. So we have some and this for a day or two. They're not going to stay here, be adopted out or anything like that. Let's just handle a cow or a horse versus a dog or a cat, very different, and really just be able to understand that a lot. So this is a very exciting water, everything that we would need to be able to house that operational large dog veterinary. We've expanded. So campus has changed a lot in the last few years. If you've driven this, I'm sure that you've seen it. We're done with this part, so we're a little bit more. Okay, so our program 2.5 hours a day, we realize that that is longer than many students are experiencing at their traditional high schools. So we have programs. This area is an area for the students to be able to come get a snack, a drink of water. They can hang out here before or after class. Obviously right now it's a little bit barren because students are on campus, but this is normally a pretty common area for them to be able to use. So this building phase, because we do have some programs that just move out of this phase, new buildings, a little bit more empty here, which means you see a lot more. Okay, so this program is our environmental sustainability program. So this is for students that want to go into, one is really kind of this environmental sustainability culture, water treatment. This is actually our instructor. We have a virtual tour going on. Do you want to say anybody or say anything to everybody online?
No, if you don't need me, that's fine. If you need to know what something is, we've got a lot of stuff put away right now because we're doing virtual.
Yeah, no problem. Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. So this facility, as Mr. Timmons said, we've got a lot of new things coming here that we've ever offered this program. So it is changing pretty rapidly as we have these new components coming in. It's adding to that curriculum. So as we walk back here, we'll see more. There's really water treatment, which is understanding how microbes and things of that nature can be used to create. Looks like we've got some bad service, so we'll come over here. How microbes and things of that nature could be used to kind of clean up our water, as well as really using some really kind of high-tech processes. So there's sterilization that's a component of this. There's a lot of different mechanical and engineering practices that are utilized in this program. Lots of problem solving, really diving into a lot of different components. This is a one-year program, which is a really exciting opportunity for us. We're trying to have a one-year program that students have more opportunities. Mr. Timmons, do you want to add anything?
Are you wondering why we got aquarium?
I'm wondering a little bit why you have a fish tank.
These things are really hard to get. So, I just call ground wells. So we're actually going to fill this with sand and gravel and clay and build a well.
Cool.
And we can watch it once we fill it with water and how it operates. And we can put multiple wells to see how they affect each other. Or on one end, we can put a little model building, dump some ink in it, and see how the well aquifer can actually become contaminated if we're not careful. We can only get 220s and 2/8, but we'll make do.
Absolutely.
You can see you don't have to show the mess. Things students are doing is we have a let's see if I can find my way most of the way. We repurposed our cans, the soda cans we collected, and we had a fall line, and we sold them for our fundraiser. We had a Christmas line, holiday line, the kids told me, and we sold those. We put a plant in it, and we sold them for like $3 a piece.
That's
Made
awesome.
pretty good money. We would have had a Valentine.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get into production.
Maybe
Because
St.
of
Patrick's Day line or a spring line.
We might have to come up with something.
There you go.
Back. We've also been collecting water bottles. We made everybody, because they said at their homeschool, everything goes in the trash, nobody's separated. So we repurposed the cans for the fundraiser, and now we're We have hundreds of cans squirreled away. We're going to replace boxes by building an aluminum can or plastic bottle container. We kept the water bags we needed for some experiments.
That's amazing.
That was fun.
Could you tell us a little bit more about this piece?
Oh yeah. So this is our server frame here. What we're going to do when we come back is gravel, clay, and it'll actually make a river bigger than that. We just have to see if it works. Then what we can do is change it. We can make it a little higher, a little lower, topography we change. And that happens if we increase the flow pretty heavy, or elevate like this, or how if it gets changes direction. So it's more visual.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See it. Do a lot. What we did is the nuclear, and I wish they'd have been more successful, but what they did, this was a lot of engineering. Usually, you take one of the ping pong balls and it would go back and forth. What they didn't compensate for is these should have all been touching. They got the vectors right, they got the design right, they just didn't think of that. But that's okay. We learned through, how to do it.
Absolutely.
And then let's do it again. We're finished with microbiology and chemistry, so a lot of that stuff is all put up. And they'll have groundwater when we come back, coagulation, flocculation. This lab will be taken up because we're actually going to build a water treatment system.
Excellent.
So, in fact, MEC told us our challenge got water better than it already
Great challenge.
is.
Yeah, great
So
challenge.
we said, okay, we're starting out with clean water. We can do that. So, in a day, what we'll be doing. We could be building cables, learn hand tools, we could be taking samples from outside, we'd be collecting stuff, learning about ground and surface water, building a system. We do a lot, we actually use a lot of the labs in energy. We did pneumatics, we did hydraulics, we still got to do pumps and some other things. So they'll be busy when we come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're doing our presentations and we're saving our work orders.
Love it.
We've got a bunch of free solar equipment in the back. I think it's nice package that it is, and I'm going to try and incorporate it into the program. We're going to repurpose the ethanol maker because I'm not going to make gasoline here at school.
Right. Yeah.
We got a heat pump, underground heat pump, and we got our solar pump.
Excellent.
We will find some way.
Lots of different equipment, and it looks different.
The way we're set up right now, in probably the near future or next year, our lab tables, because we have different, we'll set up the lab, and as soon as we're done, we take down the lab, and it's all hidden around in all these cabinets and drawers. It'll look different again.
Well, I think it looks great. Keep up the good work. Thank you for the tour.
No, they keep it clean, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, very clean. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for students to be back on campus.
That's another one of our recycled bottles. We're gonna use those cans and bottles that make our bottles.
That'll be awesome.
That's gonna be cooler.
That'll be really cool to see. Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you, Mr. Timmons. Okay. The next program we're going to see is IT security. Light switches are different in every building. Oh, let me try to push back on really quickly. There we go. Excellent. So in security, we're going to be learning a couple of different things. So one is really how computers work. So students learn every different computer, and they actually have a computer. From there, they understand how computers communicate with each other, and that's using servers, which is something like this. We also have a very big server in this room behind us. That room is locked with a key that I don't have, so I can't take you in there right now. But that is something that students have actually built from scratch. They maintain that. They install new components. The instructor also sometimes gets a little tricky and unplugs things and plugs them into the wrong spot, so they have to kind of diagnose what happened and try and fix that, essentially. Understanding servers talk to each other then allows students to have that higher level understanding of how those computers work. Then from there, they dive into the security component. So once they understand the computer information is protected in these different computerized systems. This is something that we call ethical hacking. So essentially they learn how to think like a hacker and really look for the same loopholes that hackers are looking for. The difference is once they identify those weak systems or those weak points in a system, they're then able to go to the back end of the system and strengthen it to protect that information in the long run. That's something that's going to be even more important moving forward. System for every student. So each of these locations in the desk pops up and we have a computer for students. So we have everything that students will need for this program, but they can also work from this server that the students have made in this class from the to do a little bit more homework and things like that. Right. So that's IT security. This is a 2-year program. And in this program, students are learning all about really residential electrical components. So the students are the ones that build this entire system. So when they first start, all that this has is just these boxes. It doesn't have any wires, it doesn't have any lights, nothing installed. Then as students, they're able to practice it by installing things into this kind of structure. So they learn how to wire light switches, lights, breaker boxes. They understand electrical kind of circuits and how that's built and how putting a light bulb in things changes that a little bit more and things of that nature. The really neat thing about this program is this program is 1 year of an apprenticeship program. So for our students that want to become journeyman electricians. So after completing this program, they only have some paid opportunities for them. After this program, we do definitely have students that want to become electrical engineers and kind of go into higher level to these electrical components as well. So no shortage of opportunities. I'm sure you guys have seen West Valley is growing very cold, construction and things like that. We have a huge need for more people with these skills in our area. So let's actually go see construction now. That'll be the last program in this building that we'll see. We'll pop back to our just so you know, sometimes our one-year programs are offered in the morning. So it's always a good practice to chat with your counselor about any of our programs, but especially for our morning programs, just to make sure it works with your schedule. Hello again. Sorry about that pause, everyone. We had a brief connectivity issue. We are still figuring this out. Some of our buildings have a bit better connectivity than others, so some brief debates, but we will keep you going as much as possible. And this full video will be available at the end, so if you want to go back and rewatch, you're welcome to do that. So that was general construction. If you have any questions about that, go ahead and put those in the comments for those everything before we drop to the live, so I'm excited about that. So the next building we're going to see has two programs, both automotive technology and welding. Other campuses, so if you're interested in one of these but it's not quite close enough to your home or to your school, feel free to check out our website and you can see where our programs might be offered if they are at another campus. Steering conditioning. Really, your car has some sort of issue that you take it to the shop to be worked on. So from this program, students are looking at job opportunities in dealers, in mom and pop kind of automotive shops. Sometimes they do pursue post-secondary. Colleges have some they can pursue, as well as some students will get a business degree, business, full of some really important and really good quality tools. Pretty much everything you need is right here. We do have vehicles donated that you want, and there are some vehicles that will come in the area, whether it's something fixed on their vehicle. So you get a good vehicles. This is a newer vehicle. So if you're interested in rate as much in this vehicles on the roads, or about 10 years old or newer. So that's what we focus on in this program. If you have any questions, go ahead. Right, let's go check out welding. So welding is a 2-year program. You have graduated, or if you know somebody who has this welding program interested, we actually have some students here this morning. This welding is a little bit loud in here because of ventilation. So welding takes 2 pieces of metal and joins them together using a heat source. Students practice that in, and this is really an art. It takes time and practice for them to become a really proficient welder. So those ideas available for them. Many welding, to create something, make something new for you. Welding is a 2-year program. We do have some adult opportunities for this as well. I know that's kind of loud, so if you have any questions, feel free to just let me know. Have some gases released when you're welding that means you have to have a ventilation system to make it safe for you to be able to be in there. So the ventilation system is making that room go through, but it is a teeny bit loud. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about West-MEC is that these programs for students in our boundaries, the only thing that students pay is a registration fee for actually just $125. Some of our programs like welding so welding is speaking with welding hood, because welding produces a very bright light that comes to your eyes to be able to set them in a jacket, because there can be sparks and metal fragments that can be very hot, so you have to be able to help protect so that you are prepared for that. And students take that approach. That have graduated school, there is some tuition costs. Not very questions about that feel free. Okay, so now we're going to go hairstyle. So this is hairstyling. This is also a 2-year program, and in this program students are learning all about how to cut, color, and style hair. So in this area, they get these little alcoves, and this is like a booth that you would have if you go to get your hair cut at a salon. Same kind of concept here. So the students learn how to really practice this on mannequin heads, which we have some examples of. So this mannequin is to really use the concepts that they would use on your hair, on her hair. So if they mess up a little bit, it's okay, right? Her feelings aren't going to be too hurt. This is where they can really start to get these concepts and really understand this and feel confident. So then when they move to actual clients like you or me, they're really ready for that. This salon, with COVID, that looks a little bit different right now, but once this kind of pandemic shifts a little bit more and we can have people back on this area will be people to come get services done. So whether you need a trim, new style, you need a deep conditioning, students will actually be able to do that for you. This is another, it's $800. The reason for that is students take everything in here as a kit, a bit more expensive, but you can see that it truly is beneficial for them because this is what they need for a job opportunity in a salon. It's kind of where that is. And we do have scholarships and grants for those higher cost programs for students that might need a little bit more assistance. Hairstyling. The interesting thing about hairstyling is you do cover some concepts that you probably wouldn't expect. So things like chemistry, things like anatomy and electricity. The reason for that is hair color. So as you are changing up your hair color, it's important that that chemical reaction is done correctly. A little bit of an issue in the camera operates. Heat products on our hair for styling, and that can be very damaging to hair unless it's done properly. And then anatomy, knowing how hair grows and how, you know, different products can impact that is really helpful. We do have uniforms essentially for all of our programs. They're industry standard, so it's something that you would expect. We have so that if students don't wear that into that. Actually go upstairs and check out dental assisting. This is an example of understanding really how hair grows. So you'll see that they're learning a lot of things that you really know about hair growing, really all types of hair. All right, let's go on upstairs. This is one of our only classrooms to be able to do hair, and then we also do a bowl up front for you to be able to wash hair and things like that. Dental assisting. So dental assisting is for a dentist, a dental hygienist, an orthodontist. Lots of different job opportunities. This is one of my favorite labs to be able to see. Quite a bit. So one, they learn all about the anatomy of the mouth and things like cavities and gingivitis and effects are. Also learn all about really what you're used to when you go to the dentist. So this is something that we see when we go sit in the chair. But they're learning here is how to use different instruments, how to put information into the chart. Truly, they're the ones that might polish your teeth, they might take your x-rays, they might work inside your teeth. They have a variety of different jobs in the dentist. Something that's really in this before, when you get an x-ray, normally about every year, they learn how to operate this. So they're the ones that take the x-rays to the kind of general movement thing to the office. They also have a panoramic x-ray. It takes it out of your pulse, as well as even a handheld x-ray. They have lots of technology that they get to use. The other thing that they'll do is take impressions, which is like gummy stuff that they put in your teeth, hold of your mouth. So even after braces or fit you for a retainer or something like that, they're the ones that get to learn how to do that properly. It's pretty unique art because if you feel a little, it's not going to go to very specific. You have to learn. Really, really program. Street really love. Always have to come in here and say, "Wow, it smells like dentist in here." That feel free to. Okay, we're gonna go see our last few programs. You get a pretty cool view of our whole campus here, just if you want to see how much ground we've covered today. We've gone through all of the buildings. Is 1 year. Okay, really teaching students how to work alongside a physical therapist to deliver some sort of injury, build up stripes. So maybe that's after surgery, maybe that's after a pretty significant injury. A lot of times lose a lot of where they mention pain. There is so the physical therapist is the one that prescribes the physical therapy technicians are the ones that really help. The program is a physical therapy technician, and you learn all about anatomy and how muscles, which bones are where. You learn all different accidents and injuries and how that over different exercises and affects them and things like that. But students also learn modification. So if a certain exercise prescribed, it's just too much and they're going to hurt themselves or they're going to a lot of, you know which exercise is not going to hurt as much. We have quite a variety of implements. We have weights, we have treadmills, bicycles. It looks like a gym, and that's because you have to be able to know how to help others properly. We also talk about and how to use both elevation to manage pain. So we have a little pad that you put on your muscles, and it sends really light impulses through your muscles to help relax them and relieve some pain for you. Another thing that we're adding to our facility right now, the first thing, essentially a room that you might see in a hospital or some sort of rehab center where somebody is in a hospital bed and there's, all the things in that room, like a chair and the IV holder and things like that you have to either get out of bed and take to a facility or in bed around all those things. So you learn all those procedures and practices in specialized. So that's questions about this. All right, let's go downstairs and see our last two programs. As our district grows a little bit more, some more programs will be coming to this area. Interested in anything that's not quite offered by West-MEC now, who knows, it might be in the future. And so you can see some of those specialized classrooms as we're walking through here. anatomically correct bodies, essentially. You'll see, you never know you're going to be dressed up. Okay. So let's start in pharmacy. Pharmacy is a one-year program. This is for students that want to either a pharmacy tech, which is the people that you interact with. They want to be a doctor that prescribes medications, kind of. So this classroom and lab has a couple different components. Inside, you have your traditional pharmacy medications. There's things put off of the last name. Maybe you see people counting medications or weighing things out. You'll see this is what we call retail pharmacy setting. So that's CVS or Fry's or every grocery store has a pharmacy. That's only one component. Is what we see for the hospital setting. So back here we have our hoods, where we learn how to create IV bags. So you can see one bag hospitals that are located in a pharmacy. Using many different components as you see. Do that properly. So the is you can work a retail setting, so something like corner, right? You can work in a hospital. There's many in every city, or order from as well. So there's something that is just really growing as our society grows and kind of our cities get larger and grow out. So lots of different opportunities all over the nation here. This isn't just an Arizona thing, many towns across the nation. So that's pharmacy. If you have any questions, we're going to go check medical assisting. So medical and your program is 4 hours a day in the morning. The 2-year program is 2.5 days or 2.5 hours. Everything else is the same. It's the same certifications. It's the same content. It's just that timing. So the 1 year takes senior year. The 2-year program is designed for sophomores to take junior and senior year. So that's kind of a little bit about the logistics behind this. Medical assistants are the ones that you're really going to see when you go to the doctor's office or take you back. They take your vitals, they take all the symptoms and record that in the chart. They work alongside the medical professional to make sure they're correctly sent off to the laboratory. So this is really kind of figuring out why somebody is at the doctor's office and what you can do to kind of determine what they're getting. So this area, in this corner, we have a phlebotomy area. So we do draw blood and give injections in this program, and that happens on your classmates. Since you're going to draw your classmates' blood and you're going to give them injections as well. That just gives our students many opportunities to get a lot of really for job opportunities after this program. You'll see kind of the back office side of things and a couple locations. So this is more what you see when you go to a doctor's office. So you'll see that we have kind of more of an actual room here. This is decorated for some PD kind of. And then we also have what you might see in urgent care or something similar where there's multiple. So learn how to use all the different implements, how to clean, how to prepare all of these different beds, how to work alongside clients, especially even how to send things off to. From here, students can work in the doctor's office as a registered medical assistant. They can work as a phlebotomy technician, to be a nurse or to be a doctor,